In an ideal world, marriage is built on honesty, trust, and love. A married woman is expected to be like a fortress, unattainable and unwavering in her commitment. She has taken vows, signed legal documents, and promised to stand by her spouse through joy and sorrow, sickness and health. However, real life often diverges from these romanticized notions. Reality is not a fairy tale where every woman remains a devoted princess and every husband a loyal knight. When a married woman starts showing interest in another man, it is rarely a random occurrence. Before marriage, a woman often follows societal expectations. She behaves reservedly, maintains an air of exclusivity, and presents herself as a prize that must be won. She does this with a purpose: to attract a reliable man who will cherish and fight for her. However, once she is married, she has already secured that commitment. The wedding ring on her finger serves as proof of her conquest. Her marriage certificate is signed, and her devoted husband waits for her at home. The need to continue the act of exclusivity and restraint fades. What she starts craving instead is something different: freedom, even if temporary. The structure of marriage can become monotonous, and the predictability of daily life can create a longing for excitement. When another man notices her wedding ring, he understands that she is bound by marriage. Sometimes, she even warns him up front, making it clear that she is married. Logically, this should serve as a clear stop sign. However, if the man is undeterred, a different dynamic begins to unfold. She sees in him an opportunity to break free, to escape the routine and add a sense of adventure to her life. Meanwhile, the man may see an opportunity for a risk-free connection with a woman who has no expectations of long-term commitment. Both are aware of the situation and accept the unspoken rules of their arrangement. A survey conducted with 500 men revealed that over 60% admitted to having had at least one affair with a married woman. Interestingly, 40% of these men reported that the woman was often the one to initiate the affair. This contradicts the common assumption that men are always the pursuers in such situations. While many affairs remain brief and mutually beneficial, complications arise when emotions enter the equation. If the man involved begins to develop genuine feelings, the situation becomes far more complex. Falling for a married woman is akin to embarking on an emotional roller coaster with no safe exit. The deeper his attachment grows, the more he begins to expect from her commitment, affection, and exclusivity. However, this is precisely what she is unprepared to offer. She never sought emotional involvement or a new relationship. Her goal was merely to experience a fleeting moment of freedom. If the man begins to demand more, expressing a desire for a deeper connection, he disrupts the delicate balance of their arrangement. In such cases, the woman often withdraws, unwilling to take on additional responsibilities or face the emotional consequences of her actions. The man, left grappling with unfulfilled expectations, finds himself in an impossible situation. What was once an exciting escape now becomes a source of frustration and heartache. The nature of such relationships is inherently unstable, and when emotions cloud the original intent, they almost inevitably lead to disappointment. A woman engaging in an extramarital affair often sees it as a fleeting indulgence, something she can easily walk away from without a second thought. Unlike a single woman who might seek commitment or emotional depth in a relationship, a married woman in this situation typically views it as a temporary thrill. She feels protected by the security her marriage provides: financial stability, a home, and a dependable partner, allowing her to take risks without the fear of long-term consequences. Her mindset is rooted in the excitement of secrecy and the appeal of something new, rather than the pursuit of a deeper connection. She is unlikely to feel the same stakes as someone without such a safety net, which makes her far more willing to engage in casual flings. There are countless real-life examples of this pattern, from celebrity scandals to high-profile political figures and business tycoons whose marriages collapsed due to infidelity. Interestingly, in many cases, the person originally blamed for the affair was not the one who initiated it. These situations often reveal a more complex dynamic, where the married woman actively seeks out an affair rather than being merely lured into one. For a man involved in such a relationship, the best course of action is to accept the reality of the situation. These affairs rarely lead to a happy ending. More often than not, he is just a passing chapter in her life. There is little chance of this woman abandoning her marriage to build something lasting with him. Any attempt to change her mindset is futile. If she is seeking fun and excitement, she will not subtly transform into a devoted and faithful partner. When the situation becomes complicated or the risks become too great, she will walk away without hesitation. It is important to recognize the temporary nature of such relationships and avoid falling into the trap of believing they could become something more meaningful. The emotional and even physical risks of such liaisons should not be underestimated. Affairs often carry unexpected consequences, from emotional turmoil to social and personal fallout. When a marriage becomes bogged down by routine, responsibilities, and conflict, the temptation to seek excitement elsewhere increases dramatically. If a woman regularly goes out drinking with friends or spends time in social environments that encourage flirtation, the probability of infidelity rises significantly. For a woman dissatisfied with her home life, an affair can feel like an easy way to escape boredom or fill an emotional void. If her marriage is otherwise stable, the motivation may simply be the pursuit of novelty and the rush of doing something forbidden. There is an irony in the way some women dream of marrying a wealthy, successful man for the security he can provide, only to later lose respect for him if he becomes too accommodating. Some men, eager to maintain peace in their marriage, sacrifice their own self-respect in an effort to please their wives. Paradoxically, this often backfires, as a woman who no longer sees her husband as strong and confident may begin to take him for granted. The more he tries to be the perfect provider, the more she may seek excitement elsewhere. The more he tries to appease her, the less interesting he becomes. She starts taking his care and dedication for granted, no longer valuing the effort he puts into their relationship. Over time, she begins seeking contrast elsewhere, looking for the excitement and unpredictability that familiarity has eroded. The irony is that he might not even realize his marriage is crumbling. For many women, cheating is not necessarily seen as an act of betrayal, but rather as a way to add color and excitement to their lives. They rationalize their actions as harmless, convincing themselves as long as their home, children, and husband remain intact, there is no real damage being done. However, there is an inherent flaw in this logic. If she does not respect her husband and sees that he tolerates her behavior without consequences, it emboldens her. Instead of reconsidering her actions, she pushes boundaries further. Marriage does not automatically bring about change in a person. It simply magnifies who they already are. If a woman lacked respect for her partner before marriage, it will only worsen over time. Some believe that post-wedding, certain behaviors will improve, that people will mature into their roles. But for those who enter marriage without genuine admiration and respect for their partner, things often deteriorate rather than evolve. It is like a house that appears sturdy on the outside, but is slowly rotting from within. Over time, all it takes is one strong gust of wind for everything to collapse. Imagine a husband as a man balancing on a tightrope over an abyss. He dedicates his soul, money, and time to the family, making countless sacrifices to provide stability. Meanwhile, his wife, rather than supporting him, shakes the rope. The harder she shakes, the more unstable he becomes, making it increasingly likely that he will fall. Why play this dangerous game? History is filled with stories of celebrities, politicians, and powerful figures who destroyed their families for fleeting moments of pleasure. Similarly, there are countless women who, feeling invincible, kept pushing the limits until they lost everything. A relationship without respect cannot sustain loyalty. Hoping that things will magically improve over time is an illusion. Trust and commitment are not automatically granted after a wedding ceremony. They require daily effort from both partners. Without mutual care and intentionality, relationships turn into empty facades where people live under the same roof but exist separately. By the time realization sets in, it is often too late. Married women often attract men because they appear to come with fewer expectations. There is no need for flowers, romance, or grand gestures. Just simple, direct interaction without emotional complexities. This appeals to men who avoid serious commitments, as it offers the benefits of companionship, without the pressure of long-term responsibility. However, the dynamic is inherently flawed. If a man begins to see the affair as something deeper, if he starts envisioning the woman as a potential life partner, he finds himself trapped in an illusion. These flings are built on convenience, not on mutual commitment. She seeks excitement. He enjoys the ease of the interaction. But once emotions become involved, the entire balance shatters. Many men make the mistake of idealizing the affair, imagining that this woman offers something his marriage lacks. However, she does not want a new husband. She already is one. When confronted with pressure or expectations, she will retreat to the security of her marriage, leaving the man who became emotionally invested heartbroken and questioning his own choices. Respect is either present from the beginning or it is not. Expecting it to suddenly appear later is wishful thinking. Marriage does not transform people into better versions of themselves. It amplifies their existing character traits. If a woman lacked respect for her partner before marriage, that dynamic will not change. It will only deteriorate. Cheating, for some, is an act of weakness, while for others, it becomes a pattern, a lifestyle choice. Hoping that someone will change their nature is an act of self-deception. Men should stop ignoring red flags, believing that love or patience will fix everything. Strength and self-respect are essential because without them, respect from others will not follow. Women, too, must be honest with themselves about what they truly want. Are they seeking stability, or are they chasing thrills? Are they ready to build something meaningful, or are they driven by impulse and excitement? Life is not a rough draft where mistakes can be easily erased. Every action carries consequences, and choices made in moments of recklessness can lead to lasting regrets. Before stepping into situations that have the potential to implode, it is essential to pause and reflect. A single decision can alter the course of a relationship, a family, or an entire future.